everybody, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Tipsy Flicks. I am your host, Gary Boucher, alongside my co-host, Hunter Gwetz.
It's pronounced Getz.
A.k.a. Hunter Getz. That's the point of this podcast. We're going to be reviewing your favorite movies while a little bit tipsy. And as you can see, today, our drink is called a Shark Attack. This is a hodgepodge of...
It's a hodgepodge of different ingredients here. We got a blue slushy. We got strawberry.
There's some Francis Coppola wine in here, by the way.
Yeah,
Shout out to Francis Ford Coppola.
Thank you. You know, Master of Cinema. Thank you for this great drink here. Unfortunately, we're going to be talking about your cohort here.
Mr.
Spielberg.
That's right. So we just got done watching Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
And we are just going to dive right in. This movie's interesting because there's a lot of historical context here. You know,
now, for those who don't know, this is a tipsy podcast, which means we are fairly drunk.
Yeah, our blood alcohol is... I'm not driving anywhere. I'll just say that right now.
You're not driving?
Thank God, no.
Oh. Shoot.
Are you?
Shit. I was going to drive.
To where? To Amity Island. Wow.
All right.
Yeah. Tipsy Flakes. We drank during the movie, too. In fact, we did play a drinking game.
Yes, we did. For those who don't know, in the movie Jaws, Robert Shaw sings quite a bit. And anytime that man
Who's
sings...
Robert Shaw? Who's he play?
Robert Shaw plays Quint.
Quint? Yes.
Quint.
Robert Shaw Quint, the hero of the movie, also whose blood and guts are spilled on the top of our drink. For the listener who's not watching on YouTube, which I implore you to, if you can, we have a blue drink symbolizing the ocean, the red being Quint's guts spilling out of the SS whatever it was.
Orca, to be exact. And this is also maybe Alex Kittner's blood, maybe. Little boy blood in here, you know?
Oh, man, it's twisted, man.
Hey, this is Jaws. This is PG, man.
Hunter's getting canceled the first episode of this podcast, man. So
Please don't demonetize me, YouTube.
Hunter's interesting because he's got a Jaws tattoo. He's seen this movie how many times would you say you've seen this movie? This is probably my fourth time I've seen it, mainly because I'm kind of traumatized. But how many times have you seen this movie? You're a super fan.
I've probably seen this movie at least somewhere in the 30 to 50 range. I grew up with this movie. This was a movie my parents...
30 to 50? I don't think my favorite movie, I don't think I've seen 30 to 50 times. This isn't even your favorite movie.
Well, let me give you some context here, Gary. So, this isn't the alcohol talking, by the way. So, when I was a kid, my dad... used to watch me when my mom would work, and he would work from home or go to the office. And so to pass the time, my dad would take me to Hollywood Video. Let me choose whatever I want.
That's a good dad right there. Fact for the listener, I actually didn't know my dad.
Oh. Yeah, I guess what? I had a dad, Gary.
Screw you, man.
So,
That's why you're so normal.
Yeah, so my dad was a loving middle-class father, who cared about his little white baby. So to pass the time, he would take me to Hollywood Video. Remember that, kids? Hollywood Video? Blockbuster? Yeah, good times.
Those were the days. Gen Zers will never know what it was like
never.
to go browse
you will
through
never
and
know.
pick out a random Vince Vaughn DVD in 2008 because you could.
I just want to pick that little bit of red off your mustache.
Do I have a little bit on my mustache?
A little bit.
I have a long mustache.
Yeah, it's nice.
The snacks for later, as they
It kind of
say.
matches the porno stashes in this movie. All right.
Yeah.
Getting off track here. So when I was a kid, my dad would throw movies on to kind of pass the time, so I wouldn't stop annoying him. And I remember being 4 years old. 4 or 5, and my dad rented me Jaws. And as a little kid, dinosaurs, sharks, that was the ultimate attraction. So I watched Jaws all the time. And I'd always, be a 5-year-old, you'd skip
As
the
a
movie.
child, though, you watched it all the time?
Yeah, and I told Gary this during the movie. I was actually petrified of the first scene of this movie. This movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
As it should.
The first scene alone just terrified me. And as a kid, I'd always skip the first scene, obviously, and jump to all the other scenes where they were on the Orca or the 4th of July celebration. And again, first scene's a great scene. Just want to point that out. But it scared the shit out of me. So I rightfully so, would skip that. Anyway, but yeah, I've seen this movie so many times. I'd watch it on trips to California, or I'd watch it in hotel rooms. Yeah.
Did you go to the ocean after?
Yeah, I did. You
You're
know
a
what they
psychopath.
said?
That's why you watched it when you were a kid, just like
Yeah.
your little psychopathic addiction.
I'm fucked up, man.
Okay, so how did it? Have you ever watched this movie as drunk as we were? Because we got pretty drunk pretty quickly when we watched this movie.
Never.
Did it change your opinions, or did you make any new discoveries after having some drink? Good drink. Shout out to
Yeah,
Michaela, producer
yeah,
of the
you know-
podcast, who made these drinks. By the way, these
You
are
know,
really good.
You're kind of when you're tipsy and you're watching a shark devour people, and
Were you into that at all?
Yeah, a little bit. You know,
You're kind of into that.
how can you not be? You know, how can you not be into a shark eating people while you're drinking alcohol? I mean, come on, that's just like. Let's drink, mommy.
We have to work on not drinking
At the same time,
simultaneously.
because then the mics pick that up and you just
It's gonna
hear
be an
this-
awkward.
You just hear the.
5 seconds of drinking simultaneously.
I'm sorry to anybody that's listening to this in a quiet
This
environment.
is like an
and
ASMR too.
You just heard about
a lot of
ASMR.
slurps. Yeah. Okay, so you watched this movie dozens of times,
Mhm.
going to California like a crazy person,
Mhm.
but you watched it drunk. For me, like I said, I've seen it 4 times. I vividly remember the first time I saw it. My mom, speaking on the theme of me not having a dad, she was dating this guy at the time who let me watch a lot of movies as a kid that I shouldn't have. Though technically this movie is rated PG, though of course some film history back in the day they didn't have a PG-13 rating. It was either PG or R. So
Right.
they just kind of penciled this into the PG. But I remember watching this at our old house as a kid. It had a profound effect on me. I went to the YMCA summer camp that summer, and we have to swim in the pool for fun.
Oh no.
And I remember these other boys at the camp used to grab my legs underwater, and I think in the context of now, I think I probably had a panic attack.
Did you say Bad Hat Harry? Did you say, hey, that's a Bad Hat Harry?
Bad Hat Harry right
Yeah,
there, man.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
truly, this movie traumatized me, and I think it traumatized a generation or two of people. I think that we should say up front that we support conservation. We know that great whites have been criminally disenfranchised because of this movie, but we're going to talk about this in the context of the movie itself. Terrifying. A terrifying animal in
Yeah,
Jaws.
absolutely. What's
Yeah.
more scary than a fish that devours you is
A fish?
A fish that's 25 feet long. I mean,
An aquatic animal that
Aquatic.
eats a mammal?
yeah,
That's insane.
yeah. And you don't see it coming either. You don't see it coming.
No.
No, Alex Kintner did not see it coming when he was on
Yes.
that board. And his mom was telling him, you got to stay out of that water. You're pruning, Alex. You are
Is-
pruning.
Is Alex the one whose mom was wearing a black veil when she...
Yes, she
Okay,
was.
so starting off, we have a category, tipsy thoughts, things that we only thought watching
Tipsy
this movie because we
thoughts?
were drunk. My first tipsy thought is Alex's mom rolls up to Chief Brody wearing a full-on, I feel bad saying this because her son just died, but she's wearing a black veil and a black 1700s dress. I wouldn't have noticed that if I was sober, but I was like, why? Whose choice was that?
I don't know, but all I know is that hit was real. And Roy Scheider really felt that.
Roy Scheider.
Can I say one thing? I think that's a religious thing.
Is it a religious thing?
Our producer is telling
Our
us that's
producer
a religious
Michaela is
thing.
saying it's a religious
I
thing.
think it's don't quote me on this. I think it's maybe Jewish.
Oh man. Well, now I look like the biggest asshole.
Alex Kintner was Jewish, people. You heard it first. Alex Kintner was Jewish.
So
I don't
our,
know, I don't
our
know.
our producer Michaela is saying that it's maybe a Jewish thing, which is funny because now I look bad. But if we find out that it's not, you're gonna look
I know, I'm
even
gonna look
worse,
even worse.
than I do right now. But you mentioned Roy Scheider. Why is his name not Roy Schneider? Why?
is-
Who decided to take the N out of Schneider and name their kid Scheider? Roy
Richard-
Scheider, who plays Chief Brody, a great performance, but why?
I could tell you why. Why Richard Dreyfuss when not why a fuss? Richard Dreyfuss. What's the fuss? You know, that was a
Dreyfuss.
stupid joke. Why did I even put that in? Why'd you allow me to? Why is it? It's this? It's
That's why we have a producer to help us avoid these situations, man.
Called Shiva.
a Sheba.
I know Shiva. A 7-week-long mourning period in Judaism for first-degree relatives. So
Wow. Well, I have offended an entire culture. This is a great way to start off the
15 minutes in.
inaugural podcast. Fun fact: I used to work for the Union of Reformed Judaism, but this
Really?
is I did.
Tell us more.
I was supervising a documentary project that they were doing. It's just pretty much it. Point being,
Interesting.
I really messed up fellow Jews, or not fellow Jews, Jews. I deeply apologize. But back to Jaws.
This Jew forgives you. Don't worry.
Are you a Jew?
I am a Jew.
I'm really
half
sorry.
Jewish.
I'm sorry for making that comment.
I've heard worse. Yeah, no, back to Jaws. So I want to point out there is a lot of porno stashes in this movie.
Dude, a ton.
There's about enough porno stash as there is cuts during this movie. You can
Yeah.
count them out in every single scene. Even Robert Shaw has a little bit of one. Little whiskers.
Robert Shaw Quint.
like a little bit a little catfish.
well, he not only the porno stash, he's got the porno sideburns.
yeah.
He is rocking.
That's a
the,
shag carpet on his
yeah.
on the side of his head, my man. That's the 70s for you.
Can we just take a moment to recognize Steven Spielberg?
Yes.
So this movie was made almost 50 years ago.
50, wow.
Spielberg's still working now, still going strong, a legend. This is a Hallmark movie. I mean, you and I both went to film school, and this is kind of considered, along with Star Wars, like the first blockbuster movie. The first movie that made people go to the movie in droves and want to see movies in the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a movie that whenever you think of going to the movie theater or cinema, it's hey, I'm gonna use that term, man. It's cinema.
The movie theater or a cinema.
A cinema.
Or
If
le
you're
cinema.
if you're a little bit pretentious like I am, this is the movie that you hear of. This is a movie that no one stops talking about. I mean, come on, it's a classic blockbuster that has a great cast.
Yeah.
The editing is phenomenal. It's one of the first films John Williams scores. Steven
John
Spielberg.
Williams, how many times in your life has something about to happen and you start going dun 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 dun?
I can tell you one instance when I'm about to shit my pants and I have to get to the bathroom.
And you start thinking,
And it
dun,
starts
dun,
playing
dun,
in my
dun,
head
dun,
over
dun,
and
dun,
over,
dun,
and it's
dun, dun.
overlapping. And I keep thinking, it's either going to be the shark or the shit. And one of them,
That's
either
good.
one, it's going to hit
You gotta
first.
put that on a T-shirt, man. It's the shark or the shit, man. Take a drink, man.
I don't know. You see how fast? Look at your drink compared
My
to my
straw
drink.
broke, so I have to sip at it, man. But
That's what I've been doing.
dude, talking about a cultural moment, not only like the craft of filmmaking in this movie is awesome, and you can break it down shot for shot. I mean, technically, it's really well made, but then culturally, we talked about the sharks. I mean, this movie, I legitimately, not even drunk thoughts, scared billions of people. People don't want to swim because
Right.
they saw Jaws. I
Right.
mean, I wouldn't go in the public pool because I saw Jaws.
Right.
And mix that with the music, the fact that it kind of really skyrocketed Steven Spielberg,
Mhm.
you can't discount the importance of this movie.
Yeah, it's a movie
Hunter
for
has a
generations.
tattoo of it.
I mean, I have
It's
a
on you
tattoo.
forever,
I am your
man.
typical film boy.
There you go.
I got your most cliche movie on my arm. No, but this is a movie where it is as entertaining as it is artistically special. I mean, it's a film where you can watch it, and the more and more you watch it, like one scene that always pops out to me is there's a scene where they find the boat, right? And it's Hooper and Chief Brody, and they're on the water, and the searchlight's looking over the boat.
You mean when they find the shipwreck boat, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the
yeah.
light's kind of cruising over the boat, and you see the side of the boat, and then it just dips. It dips, and you see the shark bite. And right when it dips, you see the score drop. And so those moments where like that is filmmaking at its best. That's like when the sound and picture are just harmonious in their work. You know, it's like, and also, I mean, you can't get past like the great cast. You can't get past the special
Yeah.
effects. I mean, this is a robotic shark that never worked.
This
in
is
the 70s.
one of
I mean,
the
come on.
this is one of the all-time reading about the lore movies, because there's so many great stories about how the set like went so wrong. Hunter's having trouble with his drink here, everybody.
My orca is
But-
tangling my straw.
I mean, going to Universal Studios, the tour guides always tell you about the shark animatronic, but it's one of the all-time, like, let's read about the history, like the oral history movies. But, you know, you mentioned the artistic value and the fact that it's a popcorn film,
Right.
and I feel like we don't have those too much anymore. I feel
No.
like you're either going to see an indie movie,
Right.
or you're going to see Fast and Furious 9.
Right.
There's not a lot of middle, whereas a lot of movies used to marry the two of them,
Mhm,
and I feel like you don't see that a lot anymore.
No, you
You
don't.
know?
Yeah, I mean,
Jaws is a classic example of that.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of Jaws, like here's the big element of Jaws that makes it work so well. It's not the shark. I mean, part of it is the suspense and the technique, but it's the characters. It's the characters. There's three likable people on that boat that you can either get familiar with as a person, or you just know someone like that, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone knows a working class hero. Everyone knows
I've run
somebody.
into my fair share of Quints in my time.
Oh, too
Yeah.
many Quints. Too many Quints in this world. But hey, you know what? That Quint is a character that everyone knows. And there is the Roy Scheider, the Chief Brody, the guy that is supposed to symbolize some uplifting, symbol of hope. But he's actually got a very common fear, which is drowning. He's living on an island,
Yeah.
surrounded by water, and he's afraid of drowning.
I
And he-
feel like that could have been played up a little bit more in watching it in retrospect, because they say it in like a line, but it's
Right.
never really shown. He should have a moment in this in the movie where he has the opportunity to go into water, but he won't.
right.
And maybe somebody dies because of that.
I mean, he has to fear. He has to fear it right when the boat
Yeah.
sinks. Right.
Yeah.
Shit. Shit.
I'm just gonna hop in right now while the moment is ripe. In our inaugural episode of Tipsy Flicks, Hunter has dropped and spilled
That's kind of like
his drink. We're gonna clean this up. We'll be right back. First, a word from our sponsors. Okay, welcome back, listeners and viewers. You might notice some continuity errors on the table. Reason being, clumsy, drunk Hunter made a little spill.
spilled it all over my shorts.
For the listeners, our drinks have been refilled. There are paper
There's
towels
blood
on the
in my
table.
toes.
You might notice something different if you're watching
on
the
my
video.
ankles.
Here. So
It's everywhere.
I wanted to bring us back with a question.
Okay.
What's more impressive, killing that shark in the movie or killing Bin Laden? What's
I
a bigger
mean,
accomplishment?
It took 5 shots to kill the shark.
And took one shot to kill Bin Laden.
And one-
The freaking
How-
Navy SEAL who killed him is gonna listen to this, and he's gonna come kill us, man.
this is what I served my country for. This is what I served my country for. This is it. This is the epitome of
Yeah.
why I served my country here. So these guys can talk shit.
Amen. Okay, so we talked a lot about the cultural impact of the movie,
Sure.
about the specific things in the movie. I truly have no negative feedback for the movie. Of course, you get drunk and you nitpick stuff, but
Mhm.
truthfully, it's an all-time classic for a reason.
Mhm.
I can sing my praises to hell and back. Truly, I have nothing bad to say, though. If I was going to point out the part that stuck with me the most, especially being drunk, the
Mhm.
part that I think had the biggest impact on me, the final sequence is awesome, but I think that the first sequence at the beach where you have that vertigo shot pulling into Chief Brody's face
Sure.
when little Timmy what's-his-face gets eaten on his inflatable, that to me, this shit is going, this is real, and it's you got all the people floating around in the water. I think that that's probably my
I
favorite.
agree. Little Timmy, what's his face?
What's his name? You know his name.
Alex Kittner.
Alex Kittner. It's not Timmy. What's his face?
Timmy, what's his face? He's gonna eat my shark. Look at that. Look at that over there. Little Timmy, what's his face? He's gonna eat my shark.
Guys, I'm going to tell you something. Hunter's seen this movie so many times. He's one of those people who quoted the quote like 3 seconds before the quote happened because he knew it so well. You know those people. I'm one of those people if I know it well enough. Hunter's
I'm sitting there
definitely one of
going,
those people.
You go in the water. Shark's in the water. Ah, shark. Farewell, they do.
I know you're going to need a bigger boat, but I think that my favorite, most underrated quote is 24 hours. That's 3 weeks. There's a whole town hall of them deciding what to do with the shark at Brody goes, we're going to shut the beach down for 24 hours. And somewhere in the back quarter, there's some extra who, in my heart, I love to think that they improvised that line. They go, 24 hours? That's like 3 weeks. It makes no sense.
No, my favorite is the, yeah, but what kind of shark is it? What kind of shark is it? And he's like, and he's like, a tiger shark.
Tiger shark.
He's like, a what? What's his bite radius, crop?
Right. Man,
Too good.
the final image in the movie too, with Brody and Richard Dreyfuss, Hooper is his name, right?
Yeah.
Paddling away.
Mm-hmm.
It's iconic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you were directing this movie, would you do anything different?
That's hard, man. You know what? This movie is made solely up by its editing. This movie, like every
Yeah.
time I watch the movie, I'm like, man, there's so many complications with this movie that the editing is what saved it.
Yeah.
Other than the barrels, the using the POV shots with the underwater camera, it is the editing too. Like I hear
Yeah.
no one talk about the editing. I'm like, man, the editing always flows so well. Where the shots could be so messy, or the sequence could be off here or there.
Never. It
Never.
sings. The timing is great. When you say editing, the thing that pops to my mind is the shot where Brody is throwing chum into the water, and then he's you know chum some of that shit, and then the shark pops out, and then the next shot is Brody kind of, in shock, popping into frame. I mean, just little things like that. I think really, really make it when you talk about editing.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
100%. I mean that's yeah, that's iconic. I mean,
Yeah.
how can you not? How can you argue that? For me, it's especially done well when it's slow. The editing is done slow. It works so well. I can pinpoint one scene. That's when they start shooting the barrels the first time, and just the flow of it, the music, the cuts could give away too much about the shark being an animatronic, but it's cut at the right precise moment where it gives you enough screen time, that like 2.3 seconds where you're like, okay, yes, that's all I need, the shark right now. Let's cut back to what they're doing on the boat. That's what we need.
We were talking about that during the movie. Like, imagine if you were watching this movie and every time they did some kind of film trick to imply the shark being there because the animatronic was broken. Imagine if the shark was actually there. I guarantee you by the end of the movie, it's so much less scary. They have the POV with the camera swimming around. They have just a fin, or they have the barrels.
Yeah.
It's an old tried and true rule that as soon as you show your monster, it's way less. And we don't truly see the monster in all of its glory until it eats Quint.
Yes,
Like,
seriously.
really.
Up until that point, I think we get maybe maybe max 10 minutes of screen time with that shark until the final sequence.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like the shark, there's the documentary, the shark isn't working. The shark is working in that last 10 minutes.
Yeah,
It
if you're going to
works so
have your
well.
animatronic work at any point, let it be the point where it eats a guy.
So want to hear something funny? I'm looking through my notes, my tipsy notes, and I wrote, "You tell barracuda, you tell shark in the 4th of July." What does that mean?
Say
I
it again?
I think it's you yell, you say shark, you say barracuda, and people go, huh, what? You're a shark, and now we got a panic. I
Yeah, well, on
wrote,
the 4th
you
of
tell
July.
barracuda, you tell shark, and the 4th of July. What does that mean? What was
That's
I
something
thinking?
that you wrote
Yeah,
as a response to that.
well, then the next one is, I think Alex Kittner and I have the same problem, which is pruning. I prune
Pruning. Yeah, let me just say, as a tipsy note here, why did Alex's mom have such a problem with pruning? She goes, Alex, you're starting to prune. Get the fuck out of the water.
Was it such a problem in the 70s just to prune?
Dude, I take a
this-
shower and I prune. Like, why is it bad if I prune?
Alex, that's a sign of weakness if you prune.
It
Don't
makes
show
me
the other
scared.
kids.
Like, if I start to prune and I pull at my fingers, will my skin fall off? Why was she so upset about him pruning?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean,
This is the same woman who wore the Jewish traditional garb to confront Chief Brody, which was confirmed on our break after you spilled your drink. That
all over me.
apparently that only happens when the person who dies is 30 or older.
Right.
So you can't cancel me.
No.
because the
Don't
film
cancel
did it
us.
wrong.
Don't cancel us.
Please don't. This is our first episode.
Now there was one more tipsy note I think you and I agreed on.
Yeah.
That's later in the movie when they catch a tiger shark. They roll the tiger up on this rope, and they're opening its mouth, and it's this gnarly scene where they think they caught the shark. There's arrows in the shark, and I wrote, and you and I both looked at each other, and we wrote, "Did Legolas?
Yeah,
was
who-
there Legolas on this boat? Was there Robin
Who
Hood?
shot that tiger shark? I mean, it wasn't the great one, but somebody took down that shark with a freaking bow
Was it
and arrow.
Daryl Dixon? Was he just on the boat, just firing away in that crossbow? Just
Yeah. It's funny. I never noticed that. If you guys didn't notice that, go rewatch the scene where they think that they found it's like a small tiger shark, and there's legitimately an arrow.
death by arrow.
It's like, in my mind, it's like a poison tipped crossbow, maybe, but that's like a completely different movie. Like,
I don't know,
how did they
man.
kill it with an arrow?
I don't know. It
That's
was only
wild.
two. Yeah, 2 arrows. 2.
I want to
Two?
see that guy doing his
Yeah.
sheathing
I-
and shooting of the arrow,
Yeah, just-
or knocking. Yeah.
You know, this is the kill shot right here, and he shoots it to the back of the shark too. Like not even
Yeah.
the front, not the head, not the eyes, none of that. It is to the back of the dorsal.
So the shark is swimming away from you,
Yeah,
and he hit it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the arrow is actually near the crotch of the shark, to be exact.
We got to get Spielberg on the podcast and figure out
He said,
what
if I
that
can't
was.
kill this shark, I'm going to stop it from breeding.
There it is.
That's where he's aiming.
My final tipsy note, something that I've noticed, you have heard the phrase Jesus H. Christ before, right? People say, Jesus H. Christ, right?
Yeah.
So this movie came out in 74, 75?
75, yeah.
So Quint, excuse me,
Jesus H. Christ.
he says the phrase Jesus H. Christ many times.
Mhm.
Is that how that was invented? Like Quint's
I
character?
hope so.
Where did Jesus H. Christ come
I really
from?
hope so. Because that's a term
I like
that
to think it's
I
from
don't
this movie.
use, but whenever I say it, I think of Quint. I always think,
Yeah.
gee, I always put the emphasis to it. I'm like, always like, Jesus H. Christ. You know,
Yeah.
I would put the Christ. At the end of the T. The emphasis of the T.
Now I say Jesus H. Christ a lot, but I said it because some guy in high school said it and I thought it was funny. Now I'm gonna be like, is that originally from Jaws? Or where did that come from?
You know, I don't know, but if that's the case, then that's what makes the phrase cool. Robert Shaw invented the right way to say this word,
Dude.
this phrase.
I think before we go, we should cover the eerie parallels to living in a COVID world. Meaning, there is the mayor of the town. You can call him Trump. You can call him whatever. There's this real panic happening, and the mayor is like,
Right.
you know what? Screw it. Let's all go to the beach.
Right.
There's a virus. You know what? Screw it. Let's all go to a sports game. There's,
Right.
I mean, it's so much like what happened in 2020. I thank God we're on the other side of that right now. For a lot of people,
I
but
think
it's,
YouTube
yeah.
won't monetize this if we actually talk about the COVID now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, here we go, drinking in unison again. Not something we should be doing.
I got more blood than ocean, so.
The Quint, as they say.
Okay,
Ooh.
we're gonna do some trivia.
So we have our producer Michaela, and she's gonna throw us some Jaws trivia.
I think Hunter
gonna
might.
win this.
Hunter will probably win. Okay, so this is a competition.
Do you think? Yeah, I think there should be a competition.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay,
This is. They probably can't hear me, right? So you probably have to repeat.
I can hear you.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
You can probably hear Michaela's
We
voice
can hear
very
you,
faint, but
yes.
I will repeat the question for the
Okay,
listener.
well,
Yeah.
Question. I don't know how good these are going to be. It's from a place called Kadal.com.
I don't know. That's definitely a Russian porn site.
Kadel.com.
Kadel.com.
Come check out your favorite women and men or date them. Yeah.
Ready?
All right,
Yes.
hit me with it.
Question number 1. What is the name of the shark?
Bruce.
Bertha. Wait, what'd you say?
Bruce.
Bruce.
Hunter got it.
Hunter. I said Bertha. I should get a point for
Bertha.
getting the first
Oh,
letter.
that's a big
I
old.
think before you answer, you need to put your hand up.
Okay.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Now look at that big old Bertha right there inside the boat. 25 footer right there.
That's a big old Bertha in the water there, bud.
That's his name. His name's Bruce. Nah, man, that's Bertha. That's a big old Bertha right there. Let's get our crossbow here and let's shoot her.
So that it all comes full circle because Finding Nemo, the shark's name is Bruce.
Right,
It's
yeah.
a reference. Wow.
I've heard that.
It
Mhm.
all pays off. Okay.
Mhm.
What's
Yeah.
the next question?
All right. I think Hunter may have already said this one, but let's see if you remember.
Yeah. I'll go first.
What is the boat called?
Oh, Orca.
Hey, I thought we were raising hands here.
Well,
I already pre-established the fact that I was going first. The boat's name is Orca.
Are we keeping a tally on who wins this? Because I know.
Hunter's gonna win. Okay.
tied.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go best 3 out of 5. Let's do 3 more questions.
all right. Let me find some good ones.
All right.
Do. Our producer Michaela is looking for questions to toss at
Okay.
us. Okay, here we go.
What are the names of Martin Brody's 2 sons?
Okay.
I know that one of them is Michael because that name
Michael?
is Screamed. Give me my gimme point. I don't know the other one. Hunter.
Oh
will
my
know.
God, I know this. It's one of them's name is Michael.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Michael.
We should
and,
probably
Sean.
we should
Sean.
probably repeat
right?
the question because
Sean?
Michaela's far away
Oh,
from
see.
our mics.
Okay, so the question was, what are Chief Brody's 2 sons? And the answer is
Michael and Sean.
Michael and Sean.
So I got a point. Hunter got a point. So half a point.
Cool. So we're what 2-1?
No, 1.5 to 1.5.
1.5 to
I've
1.5.
got 1.5.
Alright,
You guys
okay,
got half.
alright, 1.5 to
Whatever.
1.5.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Forget about it.
The car and the shark
Go
and the
on.
car.
All right. Who was the first shark attack victim?
Oh, Chrissy.
He said it. Give it to
Damn
him.
it. It's my
I was gonna
impulse
say
to answer.
the drunk girl, but
The last name?
Tegan.
Oh, yeah. Chrissy
Tegan.
Watkins.
Chrissy what?
Watkins.
The question was, who was the first murder shark victim? I said Chrissy Teigen. Hunter said
I said Chrissy Watkins.
Chrissy Watkins. That's
Watkins.
right. huh?
Watkins.
All right.
All right, all right.
Give us another one.
This one's might be a little more
Give it to
difficult.
Gary. Give it to Gary because
I'll go first, I'll go first.
I stole it.
All right. This one's. Wait, you're gonna give that point to Gary?
No.
I'm
I
gonna
get to
take
go
that
first.
point we just gave, and I'm gonna give this question to Gary because
Yeah.
I stole
I don't
his.
know if you're gonna get this, Gary. I don't even know if Hunter can get this.
I know some things. Throw it at me.
All right. I'm sorry to
You're good.
downplay. All right. What is written in white on the hoarding, or on the hoarding,
On the
for
hoarding.
Amity Island at the beginning of the picture?
What is written in white?
Oh my gosh, I think I might know
Okay,
this.
so the question was, what is written in white on the hoarding?
That's what it says.
At the
but it might
beginning
be
of
a
the
typo
movie.
again
Is this
for
like-
us.
What is a hoarding? First of all, so this is
Say
something
it in
that's
a
written on the
sentence.
hoarding. Wow. Let me say, Amity, where dreams are made, and Chrissy Teigen is killed. That's
Chrissy Teigen.
definitely not right. Chrissy Teigen, if you're a listener, I do apologize. I do not want you to get killed by a shark. But every time I say Chrissy, I think of you. So good for you.
She's
Okay.
canceled,
Is she canceled?
though. You haven't heard
Okay.
about that?
I don't have social media.
Can I
I'm
steal
keeping up.
this?
Ooh, she's canceled.
Can I steal this?
Hunter's gonna steal.
Did you cheat?
No, I swear. My phone is not on that. I swear. I can name this.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna see. Is it Amity means friendship?
No.
Okay.
It's really stupid.
Amity
Think
Island.
it's not as it's stupid. I
What
don't
it-
know why I even asked this question.
Okay,
I
what
don't
is
Okay.
it? What is it?
know. It's 50th annual regatta, July 4th.
Yeah, I would have not
Yeah,
known that.
no way.
Yeah, no one knows that.
Let's do one more question
All right, let me find a good one.
to be a tiebreaker. I get to go first.
Yes, you do.
For seniority, because Hunter knows way more about this movie than I do. Let me just say that
gonna
we
keep
were
drinking
watching
guts.
the behind the scenes today as we were setting up for the podcast, and interesting snippet. Oh shit, I forgot. But if
Wow, great snippet.
if you have the Jaws DVD, go watch the BTS.
I don't have the 4K. I'm a real fan.
Yeah, Hunter has pops and a tattoo and all that. Would you be eaten? Would you let one of your legs get eaten by a shark if it meant that Steven Spielberg would supervise you through the rest of your film career?
Absolutely.
You would?
Yes.
You would lose a leg to a great white shark.
I would take
for
that
the
metal
opportunity
leg.
to let Spielberg
I
do
would
that?
lieutenant Dan it for the rest of my film career.
Got magic legs.
Not magic.
All right, last question.
Oh god, we're gonna be canceled.
Michaela, you say it, I'll repeat it.
We're gonna be canceled.
What is the total number of shark deaths that occurred?
Ooh, what is the total number of shark deaths? Okay, let me think. We have Chrissy Teigen number 1. We have little Timmy number 2. We have like one more, and then Quint. Oh, and the dog. 5. I say 5. Hunter, what's your number?
Hold on.
Hunter's counting. I say 5. Oh, and the guy who was found. I say 6.
Yeah, hold on.
The guy with the eyeball, that great jump scare.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Hold on.
I say 6. Michaela's nodding.
I think 6 is right. Yeah,
Huh,
6.
okay, we
Because
both say
you got little
6.
Timmy, you got Chrissy Teigen, you got Gardner's boat, you got Alex.
Well, are you counting the boat as a person?
No, he's on the boat. You found
Okay,
dead.
okay.
Yeah. Then you got Quint, and you got the dog, Pippet, and then you got Kittner. I might have already said that. The guy on the boat where he's on the pond.
We're counting the dog.
Yeah, we're counting the dog. Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
Um,
Poor Black Lab got demolished. How many?
yeah.
How many is it, Michaela?
There is 6.
6. We both
Ooh.
got it. Okay,
Ooh,
one
okay.
more.
The weird thing is, so I looked up. I wanted to see because the place said 6, but it didn't say who were the 6.
What does it say?
I looked up on listofdeaths.fandom.com.
Listofdeaths.fandom.com.
Okay.
Website.
Wow.
And
Wow.
they said it is Chrissy Watkins.
Chrissy
correct.
Teigen.
Yes,
Chrissy Teigen.
Alex Kidner.
Alex
Little Timmy,
Kidwin, Little Timmy.
That tweet is what killed her.
Morris Cater. Peter.
Morris Mortis
Cater?
Carrera.
Who's that?
Wait, say the name again.
Morris?
Cater.
Morris Hader. He's
Oh.
the guy that gets killed in the boat.
Yeah, the guy in the fishing
Yeah,
boat
in
in
the
the pond,
pond,
where
in the
only
pond.
the women swim, as
Only,
they say.
yeah, the old ponds for ladies.
I don't want to swim in
old
the
ladies.
estuary. That's where the old ladies go. Okay,
Yeah.
well, who's the next
We
one?
have
Talk to
3
me
there,
for a
right?
minute.
Those are all solid.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben Gardner.
Ben,
Ben
Gardner.
Gardner.
Okay.
Yep, Gardner's boat.
Fisherman, yeah. This is when it gets a little, I don't trust this website anymore. They say Matt Hooper got eaten by the shark.
No, he didn't.
He survived.
Did not.
No.
Matt Hooper is Richard Dreyfuss, right?
Yeah.
He's alive.
He survives. He swims to the bottom of the
100%
ocean and just
alive.
waits it out while Brody battles it out.
He
sitting there
he did
chilling in the
movies after
seaweed.
that. There's no way Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, he's
is
sitting there in the
shark.
seaweed just chilling while the shark's
Yeah.
up there being shot and blown up.
Okay.
And it also said that Quint, which he did die.
Quint did
yes,
die.
But it said that he drowned when his leg was caught in the rope. of a
Okay, that's the
harpoon.
book. That's the book. In the book,
Oh.
Quint gets the rope on the anchor gets caught around Quint's
Did
foot.
Hooper die
And
in the book?
I can't remember. I think he does in the book.
Well, maybe
In the
I'm-
movie,
This is
in the
my
movie,
fault.
obviously
I'm
no.
an idiot.
I still think that we both guessed 6. So give us one more tiebreaker question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One.
Let us just say for the listener that the drink that producer Michaela made for us is perhaps one of the most delicious alcoholic drinks I've ever had because I don't taste any alcohol. That
I
is
don't.
what the French say is dangerous.
Just exquisite.
Mr. Bond, you're so dangerous with your
don't speak
sangria bleu Jaws drink, monsieur.
I don't know what you're saying.
I'm speaking French. Sacre bleu.
Okay.
Okay, we got one
What's the
more.
final question?
Very obscure.
Okay, we love
Okay,
obscure
I'll
questions.
repeat this last
You
one
have
for
to
everyone.
really be paying attention.
Okay.
Okay. Is it whoever raises their hand first?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
My hand is already raised.
But Gary has a 5-second.
Okay.
I've-
All right.
Yeah.
He's just gonna raise it just for the hell
Michaela,
of it.
producer, said we have one more question. It's very obscure, and I get dibs, pretty much.
Okay.
Okay.
How does? Sorry, that was the wrong question. Where does Ellen Brody say she put the extra pair of glasses at?
Oh, I actually know this one.
Oh.
Where does Ellen Brody say she put the extra pair of glasses at?
You
I
know
remember.
it?
Yes,
Hunter, do you know it?
I don't.
the black socks.
And his black socks.
His black
Wow.
socks. Yes.
Wow.
Hunter he's gonna quit the podcast because I beat him at
Wow.
Jaws
You know
trivia.
what? I'm gonna just give you all of this, and you can just take it with you. While you're at it, you can just go into the other room there where I
I'm
have all
sorry,
other.
man.
Yeah.
I came into your home and I beat you at Jaws trivia, and I don't even have a Jaws tattoo.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't thinking about the black socks.
The black
Part
socks.
Was it was the most obscure, dumb question.
I just remember watching the movie
course.
Tipsy as we did about an hour ago and seeing his wife frantically run towards the boat saying, I put an extra pair of glasses in your black socks.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm saying you tell Barracuda, you tell Shark, and the 4th of July. That's where my mind's at.
Yeah,
when I'm
Hunter was
tipsy.
sloshed. Actually, you're not very sloshed, but
You know, I wrote down also that New England accent works better tipsy. You know, shock, ka.
you know what?
What's the spice? Bite radius crap.
My last tipsy thought is an actual academic thought,
Okay.
which is, have you ever watched a movie that was more culturally impactful with like a certain idea than Jaws? Meaning there are generations of people who are scared to swim in the ocean because Jaws makes them think that great white sharks are everywhere and they'll kill you, which is very rare. You're more likely to be struck by lightning or shot in a
Right.
drive-by than get killed by a shark. But people don't want to swim because of Jaws, which I guess I'll say good job, like that they made such a good movie that's just in our minds. And
Right.
before I'd even seen Jaws, I was like, oh, great white sharks are going to kill me if I swim in the public pool at the Y, so why would I do that? Can you think of any movie that has taken something to like that level?
Off the top of my tipsy brain, I can think
Off
of
the top of your
Terminator.
kids?
I can think of don't get too far. Don't let technology surpass.
Yeah, good point.
You know, human ingenuity. That's the thing. Like
Matrix/Terminator?
Matrix/Terminator.
You know what? The Matrix is a good one because we're so obsessed with like simulations. Elon Musk, all those guys are all talking about it. The Matrix, the Terminator, those movies.
You heard that right.
As Hunter
You heard
slurps
that.
his drink noisily.
That's the sound of
Those are
greatness.
those movies really did take those ideas and make them mainstream. But like, I'm not thinking about simulation because it's not a thing yet.
Yeah.
I won't swim. I will not swim in the ocean because of Jaws.
Yeah, I had
Like-
a teacher. I had a librarian actually in school that told me that after she saw Jaws, she would not take a shit because she was afraid the shark would come out of the toilet and eat her. And I
Well,
always,
that's crazy.
and I always thought, is that realistic? Could that happen? Could this shark literally come out of the toilet and just take a chomp and then go back down?
If it was like a Doctor Strange scenario where it got completely stretched out, could the shark go up your butt?
That is not the right phrase we should be using here. It got completely stretched out as a shark. that
Yeah.
That is a mental image I will not get out of my
Point
head.
being, I'm hard pressed to think of a movie that did that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think. I mean, there's movies where they're based off historical context where you think, okay,
Yeah.
we need to learn from our mistakes, like say like any war film, any film
Yeah.
about war or conflict. Yeah, boom, comes to mind. We should probably eradicate the idea of conflict, but on a ethical level of like man versus beast or man versus wild, the only thing I can think
Really?
of is maybe Castaway.
And even that is not on the
Yeah.
level of Jaws.
Mm-mm.
I'm thinking of movies that make you question everyday things like swimming. You know what's
I can
funny?
think of one. I can think of one. I can
Yeah,
think
yeah,
of
yeah.
the film House. I don't know if you've ever seen that one, but
I haven't.
that makes me not want to do drugs. It's an early
Well, you
70s
shouldn't
Japanese
do drugs,
film.
guys.
You shouldn't do drugs.
Even
but that
though the
movie,
point of this podcast is drinking alcohol, which is
which
drugs.
is drugs.
You shouldn't. Don't do drugs.
Don't do
kids.
drugs.
Don't do them.
Don't do
They're
them.
not gonna help.
Mm-mm.
You're not gonna have a good podcast like we do. You're just not.
Because then you're gonna end up spilling your blood all over.
All
your
over my new shorts from
shorts.
Target.
Yeah, and your
Future sponsor of the podcast.
Target.
Podcast. Target.
Save less. Shop at Target.
We can censor that until they sponsor.
TAR. ... GET.
Yes.
Target. Are we allowed to say names of companies?
I don't think so.
As long as we're not profiting off of it, we can say whatever we
No,
want.
we just say Target. This is not a sponsor. We just want to let you know that your shorts are
Watch
great.
this, ready? Target, Walmart, Costco, Kmart, Chuck E. Cheese, Fry's, Best Buy. That's right. Come after me,
Why-
dudes.
Best Buy is our next Best Buy was the one that I can think of when he said that.
Yeah. But, I mean, overall,
Trader Joe's.
Jaws. I'm really happy that for our inaugural podcast, first ever on Tipsy Flakes, we did Jaws because it had everything I could want in a movie. It was funny, and it was unintentionally funny. In some of the moments that we discussed, it was
Yeah.
scary. The level of technique and craft is 10 out of 10, and
Yeah.
it's a culturally iconic movie. So happy summer, everybody!
Yeah, this was the perfect movie to watch after 4th of July.
Yeah, we're gonna have a panic.
This
on
is
the
like
4th of
this is the
July.
movie that opens up the summer. This is the perfect movie to watch for that. I mean,
Yeah.
I hope you all had a safe and fun 4th of July. So this is a great movie to start out with, and I look forward to watching more movies.
Yeah,
Definitely
man.
Tipsy because
Drinking some more.
nothing like spilling your first drink on
I
your
feel
first
like-
podcast on your first try.
We should have an advertisement for liver doctors
Liver
because
doctors?
drinking can affect your liver. Liver doctors.
We're gonna get sponsored by alcohol companies, and that's not something
We
I ever
are.
wanted to have. But hey, Post Malone, BUDLIGHT. Wow,
Is
I'm
he
already
sponsored by
tipsy.
Bud Light?
He is.
Wow.
He is. He gets a good amount. I don't even want the alcohol. I want something.
What's a Post Malone? I'm just kidding. I'm not that old. I know what Post Malone is. Okay, man. Well, for all of us here at Tipsy Flicks, thank you for watching and tuning in. We can't wait to
Yeah.
give
thank
you our
for
next
joining
week's
us.
movie. It's TBD right now. There's a lot of good summer movies coming out, so we're currently sifting through our selections. But
Right. If you have any suggestions, please post it in the comments or messages and let us know, and we will definitely consider it. And for our
Yes.
next week, next month's podcast, whenever that may be,
100%. This has been
Tipsy Flicks.
Tipsy Flicks.
Thank you to my co-host Gary.
Thank you to my co-host Hunter.
All right, don't finish that before the podcast.
We
ends,
have to
'cause-
end with a Jaws quote.
Okay, obvious.
Which
You're
one?
gonna need a bigger boat.
Let's say it on 3. 1,
One,
2,
two,
3.
You're gonna need a bigger boat. All right.
We didn't say it very intimidating. All right. See you next time.
All right.